Welcome back to the second in a three-part video series of what we're calling a celebration of the naturally aspirated engine. With turbocharging and hybrids now a common sight on our roads, we're saddened by the imminent extinction of these engines. As you saw in part 1, Miles drove the last of the naturally aspirated M3s in the shape of the E92 M3. The end of a non-forced induction era, and it's a magnificent power plant. But for me, if you want a V8 engine giving lots and lots of power, with lots and lots of noise, at lots and lots of revs, there's only one country that can truly give it to you: Italy.
That M3 is pretty damn cool, but I'm driving something really rather speciale. Yep, just as BMW finished production of their V8 in the M3, Ferrari began producing their last V8 supercar as well. 458 Speciale, and it has to be said, it was probably the masterpiece of all the V8 engines they ever produced. 597 brake horsepower from just a 4.5 litre V8. That's silly amounts of power. 458 engine was an all-new V8 for Ferrari. First appeared in the California. It was the first Ferrari V8 also to have direct fuel injection. Everything sort of went into making this engine absolutely brilliant just before it was turned into a turbo engine. The thing is, what you just don't get with the 488 is it just doesn't sing like this. I mean, the 458 Italia there was nothing wrong with that whatsoever, but Ferrari just went all out for the Speciale. I mean, it's 40 brake horsepower more than what the standard 458 was.
Whereas Miles described the M3 as baritone, the 458 Speciale easily sings alto when it's chiming away at 9,000 RPM. That's another 700 higher than the M3, and at which point it's producing 44% more power and an extra 100 pounds-foot of torque from an engine just half a litre bigger.
This engine is so immediate, it's just super responsive. As soon as you plant that right foot, it just takes off, and then on your down changes the revs just flick straight up there. Oh, you don't just drive this engine, you conduct it like an orchestra. Just drive through the hills making music. Italian music. The reason it sounds so good is the intakes are short, straight and direct, and the throttles are located in the exact centre. That creates something that's known as a pole harmonic. All that means is it just sounds phenomenal. I know this video is supposed to be about the engine, but I've got to talk about this chassis. It's so well balanced and light. There's just something about a Ferrari where it's almost like they've engineered an extra bit of liveliness. And I know that it's quite advanced with its e-diff and various stages of traction control, but the chassis is that good. If you do turn it off, you're not just instantly going to die. You would think, with it being a track special, that to drive it every day would be a nightmare. But in actual fact, once you get this thing in bumpy road mode, yes, it is firmer than a 458 Italia, but it's no less comfortable. It's still a really, really good, solid ride. Now, the owner of this car has done plenty of miles in it. He's done quite a few tours with us, and because it's so well balanced, he's often seen just sliding it around on alpine passes. He drives it like it's meant to be driven. Enzo would be proud of him, actually. It is such a shame that there will never be another car like the 458 Speciale. The Pista, I know it's a lot faster. It sounds brilliant for a turbo engine car, but it just lacks something that the 458 Speciale had. No one will be able to repeat it, not even Ferrari themselves. Talk about going out with a bang. But whereas Ferrari have ceased their naturally aspirated range of mid-engine supercars, there is a company out there still producing a naturally aspirated mid-engine car with a great big thumping V10. We'll hand you over to Matty P, who's been driving that.